Hello, beautiful Pisces collective. Welcome to Magic and Musings. If you are new to this space, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Candice. And if you are a returning watcher or a subscriber, or you've been hanging around with me for a little bit, then welcome back and thank you so much for your support of this channel, of this space, of this message, essentially. Or there's a need to say thank yourself. For whatever reason. So today we're just going to tune into the Piscean collective, or whoever resonates with this video, with this message, the title, whatever. If you are pulled or drawn here, then there's a message in here for you. Do make sure that you watch from beginning to end. Things are usually said in the start sometimes that make sense at the end. And also check the description a couple of days after if that feels the right thing for you to do, because sometimes things come up later and then I'll put it into the description. So it's not always the case, but I wouldn't want you missing out on some important things that came through after the read. So let's get a bit settled and slow down, because I'm feeling was feeling somewhat I'm going to use the word agitated, but it's showing up as like anxiety. It's gone now, but it was felt before, and so yeah, there is a need to speak to that. So it'll be very curious to see what comes through the cards and through, you know, just presence, really. Okay, let's take a moment, my beautiful Pisces. And just take a moment to check in with yourself. If it feels comfortable to, you can shut your eyes, whatever feels good for you to do right here in this moment, to bring awareness to the now. There's a need to just witnessing the posture. It's slightly leaning forward. So I will mention that because that might come through later, as in like slouched over. So I will adjust only to get comfortable, not to necessarily fix that awareness of that posture. But let's take a couple of deep breaths here and just be with ourselves. So just noticing anything that is going on in the body, noticing the external, what's going on outside. No labels, no attachments, just being with it. Yeah, there's definitely something going on in this collective. Like, I'm not feeling the heaviness, but there's something that's, I'm hearing the word askew. Something that's a little off balance, I'll say. And to not also make that a story, it's just becoming aware of the current. This might move very quickly, as does thought, right? When thought pops in our head, witness it, become aware of it, and then just let it run its course. And this is the same thing. So even though these sensations are being felt right now, I'm not sure how you're feeling, Let me know in the comments. But yeah, this I'm gonna say jittery feeling, like that feeling of when you've had too much coffee or something. So yeah, don't make a story about it. Just witness it. Let it pass. And I feel like the more we can regulate ourselves, the more we can hold space for ourselves. It just allows us to process what's going on in the now moment. And so not to rush it either, you know, be like, really be with it. I haven't done this in the videos before. I'm gonna open my eyes. If your eyes are shut, I'm opening my eyes. I haven't done this in any of the other videos. I have done this perhaps in closed communities, but I'm going to do what's called vooing, because I feel like this energy definitely needs to be shifted. So it's a somatic practice that can be done, and it's similar to the Om sound, but it's Voo. So really, when you say it, it's like feeling that vibration in your throat. And yeah, it's very curious that this is being witnessed right now. So what you do is you take a deep in breath, and on the exhale, you make a Voo sound. So similar to the Om, but it's Voo. So I'm just going to do a couple of those. This is one of my go-to, not as much anymore, as I've been going through this process of, well, I might talk about this in the podcast, but just to keep this video, to the point. This is a very quick way, especially if you're a parent or you're a busy person and you don't have, you just need to not snap out of it, but if something's heavy and you need something to help you shift, there's so many different ways of doing this, of regulating yourself. This is something that I've done when I'm sitting in the car and I've felt highly agitated or really charged up when, the kids have been fighting, or, there's just been some things I've had to deal with very quickly. So anyway, I'll get through it, and we can maybe talk about it in the podcast or something like that. So deep breath in. If you feel like you need to continue, then you can pause this and continue. I'm feeling like it's starting to settle now, but it's still there, and just witnessing it. But this is very symbolic of life, right? Like, things are going to happen that are going to charge us, energize us, activate us. And it's about being aware of that charge before it erupts, before it results in a reactive response. And with kids, when I'm with the kids, it was a really quick way to bring me from that heightened state of to like, Okay, you've got this. It's okay. This too shall pass. And also teaching that to my kids, you know, I call it voo-voos for them, because, you know, so, two of them are quite young. So I say, you know, let's do your voo-voos or something. Just make it cutesy. So it becomes part of their process to regulate themselves. It's not going to resonate with all children. You kind of have to get really creative, and that's still a process that I'm working through. And of course, there's so many different trauma responses, and so we need to be aware of the different types of practices we can do to facilitate awareness and regulation through whatever trauma that is. So, like, for example, your practice for a fight response is going to be different for a fawn response, and flight and that sort of thing. So yeah, interesting that I'm talking about this in this for the Pisceans. So I'm very, very curious to know what's going on for you, if this is resonating with you at all, because I've not, as I said, I've not really spoken about this in any of the reads. In my other spaces, yes, and I'm currently navigating that as, like, anyway, I'm not going to talk about that right now. This is not about my process, this is about you. But the fact that it's come up is very, very very enlightening and very curious to me. Okay, so yeah, let's see what is going on for the Pisceans. And you know, if this doesn't resonate with you, then the message is not for you, or you might want to check your other placements. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let us see what's going on. All right, what do our Pisceans need to reflect on, process, contemplate? What is going on for the Pisceans? So far we've had the rainbow card come out with hope. I will show you that in a minute. Let's do back of deck. Cool. Okay, so this is curious. Whoa. Okay. So it's interesting that I said this is not about my process or things that I'm navigating. And this is the Piscean read. I don't know where I have Pisces in my chart. I don't even think I have. I don't know where. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And these, so I'm Aquarius Sun. And these exact cards came out in the Aquarius read. These exact cards. These are back of the deck, but it's very curious that it's right there. So it's Stars, Divine Guidance. That was back of the deck, so I'll keep that. Crown, Personal Power. And phrases, motivation, never give up. So you might want to check the Aquarius read. I will put that in the description below, because that might be significant. There might be a message in there for you. But I won't keep those all. I just thought, seeing as it was there, I will mention it. So number 33 is also significant here. So we've got rainbow, hope. Which one was it? I'm trying to remember which one I spoke about rainbows in. Might have been the Capricorn read. So Capricorn might be relevant for some. There's also globe possibility. Okay, Capricorn might be relevant here. And key opportunity, because these two cards came up in the Capricorn read. So Aquarius and Capricorn, check that out. There might be a message there for you. So just from seeing the cards as they've come out, before even diving to anything else. So the way that I've done the last couple of reads is just pulling out cards, no necessary spread, no necessary order, just pulling out what feels to be pulled out and then, you know, working with that. So I might actually pull out another one. I'm getting this feel to pull another card. Just for more context. Okay. And yeah, that card came back up. And we've also got flamingo fun. So I'll just keep those to the side. But the number 6 is significant here also. So number 33, number 6. So whatever that means for you. March, June could be significant. March to June. But there's a sense that things are, you're in a good space. For whoever's watching this, there's a sense that you're in a good space, and you've come out of something with the rainbow hope card here. What's that? I'm gonna give this a moment here. There's a sense of like relief, still a little of that anxious sensation. So for some, you might have gone through a bit of or going through. We'll know as we dive deep into the cards, right? This is timeless, so it's there's no like past, present, future type of situation. This is just what is right now. But there's something about I'm seeing the word support as well. Finding support or being supported or realizing, and as I say that, I look at the stars card, realizing that you are supported in your efforts or in whatever it is that I'm hearing put out. I'm hearing path. But you are supported, and I feel like that is helping you like move through this. This is not going to resonate with everyone, as I said. And because it's timeless, there's a need to say that if you're still in that space of like heaviness, there's a need to say you're supported. Even if you feel like you're alone, you're not. You're not alone. No way, no how. And the Piscean collective should know this. Piscean collective should know this because, I mean, we're all intuitive, right? Pisces is a water sign, so it lends to being, when you're in your empowered state, intuitive, like, yeah, having intuition or being highly attuned is what's wanting to be said. This is really, this is actually really cool. Like, I know people might watch this and be like, what is she doing? She's not saying anything. She's just showing us a couple of cards and whatnot. And you know what? That's cool. Projections are fine. That's totally okay. I'm holding space for presence, for things to come through, to flow through that is authentic. I don't know why this is being said, so this might be a message for some to hear. There's definitely something about like holding space for yourself and to really figure out what that looks like. I'm hearing the word faith, like what does presence look like? I feel like sometimes we can be in this mindset of just feeling alone, or feeling like people don't get us or don't understand us. Hearing not being heard, not being seen. And as I'm releasing this, like this belief needs to be released, because that is not the case. There is support. You are supported, whether in this physical, tangible unreality, I'll say, this illusion, or, you know, supported in other ways. Well, we're always supported. It's the way through it, the way to realize it is through presence. And this takes effort. So perhaps you're in this space right now where you're really trying to figure that out, or figure out where you belong. Let's go. Let's pull some. I might move that out of the way. Okay. Let's go. Let's see what is going on here. Let's get some more information. And yeah, with the flamingo card, there might be a need to just lighten up a little bit, because that energy was heavy. I'm going to split this up. That energy was heavy. So, you know, maybe some of you might need like a break, a vacation. I think we spoke about that in the Capricorn read. Some of you may need to travel, or planning to, or thinking about it. With that globe card here, I'm hearing like getting out of your own headspace. Okay, what do our Piscean friends need to see? What do they need to reflect on, be aware of? Okay, that did come out before. I might pull some more. What am I doing? Let's get one more. I might leave it here in case I need it. So we have, I wanted to say before, there's a sense of like really slowing down, like needing to slow down. I'm hearing doing too much. So yeah, there's a need to really slow down. And some people have this idea that slowing down means not doing anything. It just means slowing down. It just means irrespective of time, like, you know, like disregard the concept of time. It's about becoming aware of every single moment, of what is happening in every single now moment, not the future, not the past, the now moment. So we've got 4 of Wands in the shadow. So that's what it looks like upright, and it's come out in the shadow. And this can speak of feeling disconnected. Feeling disconnected. What's happened to my card? So there's a feeling of disconnection here from something that potentially made you quite happy in the past, something that brought a lot of love into your life. Yeah, just disconnection from, you know, people, passions, things that lit you up, things that felt good. Whether that be a partner, whether it be a like creative project, or like a work environment. And at one stage there was some conflict. There was conflict. We've got 5 of Wands here, but it's come up in the shadow. And what that tells me is that like you're tired of fighting. Like everyone's going to read these cards differently, right? There's a sense of being just over the conflict. And conflict is not always a bad thing. I feel like I say this every time. I'm just witnessing a wave of something. Conflict is not always a bad thing. And in the 5 of Wands, because they're not using swords, they're using wands. So it's like practicing, getting better at how does this want to be said? Like the more you sit with this and process this, it's like with anything, right? Like when you practice something, whether it be a skill or a like art or something, whatever it is, when you are in a place where you're continuously working on it, battling, sometimes there will be challenge, sometimes there will be conflict, but every time you do this, you're learning more about yourself. So that is a perspective on conflict. Now, this is not dismissing violent behavior. No freaking way, no freaking how. I'm speaking of internal conflict, right? And there's a need to also speak to learning how to communicate if this is happening outside of yourself, because we've got, it seems like there's like there's people involved in this, or people around you, especially with the Five of Wands here in the shadow. So yeah, there's a need to speak to communication. Part of this process of learning how to, or working through conflict, is to learn how to manage conflict, but in the ways of how to communicate things that are feeling unsettled. We've also got the Four of Pentacles here in the shadow, as well as the Six of Wands. So, and they're both in the shadow. This is an energy of holding on to something very tightly, holding on to, in looking at the cards as a whole, usually it's with Pentacles, it's about finance or stability, home. In the context of what's being seen here, because there's a lot of fire energy, there's a lot of wands, so that's fire energy. This could speak of, you know, having attachments to certain things. So with the Pentacles, it's like you can see holding tightly onto that pentacle, but there's something to be said here about a need to be seen and heard, and or felt. Oh, how does this one be said? That's it. There's a need to be seen and heard. Let me just check something. There's a sense to, yeah. Yeah, this is a very interesting energy here. It's like questioning yourself. This is the energy of like, am I doing the right thing? Have I made the right decision? Even though the cards are not here, I'm just witnessing this. And I'm also just seeing the that Star card again with divine guidance, which reminds me of the Star card in the tarot, which is about hope, and that card is about hope. So there is, for some, this message of not giving up on something, whatever this is, whether it is about connections or whether it's about like just learning more about yourself. I need a bigger table, y'all. This is ridiculous. I'm like running out of space here and I want to see all the cards. This is a very, very interesting energy. Like there isn't a need to like rush this. I don't know. Let's get some more cards. For some, there's, and you know, we're not all gonna like these types of messages, but for some, there's a resistance to change, a resistance to, for some, letting people in. A resistance to being open-hearted with a particular connection. I've got Two of Cups here, so that can speak of either a partnership or a friendship, or, you know, it can be siblings as well. I might swap decks, actually. Nah. Yeah, definitely some resistance here with the Tower in the reverse and Judgment. I mean, reverse Shadow, whatever, same thing. King of Cups in the shadow as well. So yeah, there may be, not everyone's going to like this message, but there may be some there's resistance with being open, with expressing yourself, with like with the Judgment here in the shadow, facing your masks, facing identifying with the Tower and the Judgment here in the shadow, identifying the ways in which you can hold yourself back, in the ways that you can mask up. And I mean, I've just seen the Seven of Swords in the split. So this is, you know, sometimes we're self-sabotaging ourselves when we show up in a way that's not authentic. And I'm not saying that that's what is being done here, but those masks are sneaky. Here's that damn card. Now it's probably gone. Fucking hell. Damn it. Where'd it go? Those masks are sneaky as shit. Like, sometimes we're not... There it is. With the Seven of Swords. I might keep that, actually, because that's come through. And I've just seen the Moon card as well. So sometimes it shows up in ways that we are not even aware of. And I'll probably talk about this more on the podcast because these are reads, and yeah, anyway. So there's just a need to say, be aware of this self-sabotaging tendencies that will block out any type of opportunities and possibilities that are being, what's that word? Allotted to us. And these, sometimes when, you know, people look at readings, or they look at reads, or they look at cards, they think, oh, this possibility and opportunity is coming my way. And oh, that was a very yucky way of putting it, but it's like we think external. When we see things like this, we can take it to that external, and I'm trying to be very clear with, but you know what, this is a work in progress. We can take it to the external and think, oh, we're going to get money or cars or houses or blah, 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 you know, a relationship. These are how opportunities are presenting itself. But there is, in most cases, these show up in, where's my card? In the connections, in the challenge card, in the challenges that appear to us, that are, I'm hearing that word again, allotted to us, because this is part of our journey, this is part of our process. So if we're going to, I'm hearing, forego any type of shadow work, any type of resistance to dealing with the parts of us that need, I'm hearing, healing. There's just a stillness now. This is important. Like, there's a recognition that some people would literally watch this and be like, what the fuck? But you know what? This is what is showing up in present moment. There is a need to hold space for the things that show up in your life that are challenging you. I'm actually literally seeing the word challenge in front of me, despite the card being here. Allow the challenge, I'm hearing, to uncrack you. What does that mean? Or crack you open, whichever way you look at it. Like to, I'm hearing, obliterate any beliefs or ideas, concepts that could potentially prevent any kind of good stuff coming in, you know, whatever that looks like. And when we're dealing with shadow work, as fucking hard as it is, like, it's not a pretty process. It is messy as shit. But what comes through that, man, oh man, it's hard. The whole process is so hard. But if we can hold space for that and be with the parts of us that we don't want to acknowledge, this is really interesting. Like, there's the start of the conversation, and then it tapers off. It's almost like that when the thought comes in, it's talking to, like, thoughts arising, seeing it, witnessing it, maybe going with it for a little bit and then just letting it go. This is really bizarre. I was talking about this in the Capricorn read. Not in this way, but same sort of vibe. So it's just identifying or becoming aware of the thought processes, but also not running with it. Because what can happen is we create these beliefs, we create these stories. And these are where limitations can happen. And this is why I feel the Judgment is here in the reverse. Okay. Let's get our shuffle on. And I'm seeing that moon card again. So this is about the unseen, things that we're not aware of, things that are unseen. Moon can also speak of perspective. It's this card speaks to that feeling, and this makes sense why I'm seeing this twice now. This card can speak of feeling like you're drowning in thought, in overwhelm, in whatever is showing up that is deep. The card speaks of the unconscious. So there may be things in your unconscious awareness or in the unconscious that either may be coming up to surface that you're still kind of dealing with right now, with that heaviness that was felt before. Yeah, it's this feeling of like drowning, of being so deeply submerged in the water that we start losing the light. We start losing the hope, right? We start losing that because we're going further and further and further down into the depths of our unconscious reality that, yeah, it's any glimmer of hope, the further down we go, it just becomes null and void. So there's a need to understand and to be with how does this want to be said? The knowing that you are supported in whichever way. Like life's got your back. There's a need to say that life has got your back. God has got your back. However you phrase that, like life has got your back. God, consciousness, self, source, whatever, however you resonate with that. It's all the same fucking thing. Presence. It's all the same thing. We just give it different labels. You are so supported, and this is part of the process. Like sometimes this is like so significant, man. Sometimes we can I'm getting to just pull some more. There's a need to say that there could, with the there could be some external influences. I'm just seeing the visual of the Rider-Waite version of the moon. There might be outside influences, but okay, so this card came through the Capricorn reading as well, the Hermit. If you're not already in this space of being in hermit mode, and that's going to look different for everyone, right? Just being in your own space, or releasing or detaching from any projections, because I feel like with, let me try to find that card, the Moon card. Releasing any projections from anyone else, releasing any external influence, and just being in your own sort of space. Being present. That's just the core of it. Now, of course, I'm not going to find this fucking card. Ah, there we go. There you are. So this isn't a Rider-Waite, but this is based on the Rider-Waite. So there's a need to address the shadow. Yeah? And when that's done, that leads to, let's say, enlightenment. For some, they resonate with the word enlightenment. For in this perspective, it's awareness. Just becoming more self-aware of the ways in which you are potentially blocking your own blessings, as some people like to say, you know? And that can show up in a variety of different ways. Whether it be actual physical blessings, like people coming into your life, financial abundance, or just fucking inner peace, man. Just inner peace, you know? Like, this is really interesting because I wasn't going to speak to this. It occurred to me in my process. It occurred. Why can't I speak now? What the fuck? What is that about? There might be like something about an inability to communicate. My fuck. And we were talking about communication before. So perhaps one of the things that challenge you is communicating your needs, or communicating I'm hearing boundaries, or I'm not feeling that energy here, but that came into awareness. Just direct communication. But most of us find this so fucking difficult, right? Oh my God, this is like the longest read and I haven't even pulled out a lot of cards. Right, look, I'm not making this shit up. Judgment has come through twice, 2 different decks in the same position, both in the shadow. There is a serious need to check in with yourself. Also got the 8 of Swords in the reverse, in the shadow. So this is looking into like ways in which you are self-sabotaging yourself from life, just being in this space of enjoying life again, or just enjoying life in general. I want to see what this is. Yeah, mate. It's like these, where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. All saying the same thing. Be aware of your tendency to, not your tendency, the tendency, because we all do this, right? We all create stories, and I think I was talking about that at the start. We all create these stories. So that's the 8 of Swords in the shadow. In the upright, that's what it looks like. And this card is about self-inflicted entrapment, or feeling trapped. In the shadow, it can speak to being aware of the stories that you create based on experiences. And we do this. This is human nature. But there's a need for you to really sit with and be with the shadow. Particularly when it comes to self-sabotaging, let's call it behaviors. I mean, judgment's here twice. All these cards in the position that it is speaks of being aware of how you can shut down and create stories that are not true. So there's a need to like really question there's a need to really question that and ask yourself, is this true? And who is this true for? Like, I'm getting that self-inquiry, like, who am I? Who is the person who thinks this is true? That might not make sense to everybody, but it needed to be said. Let's get one more card from this deck and then we'll swap. So this could be to do with connections that, around you, people around you, or a particular connection, like a partnership or a friendship, work collaboration, or a actual partner with the Two of Cups here. It doesn't have to be. Okay, we're going to swap decks because that one's getting sick of me. Shoo! I'm telling you what is going on here. Anywho. This is like the longest out of, I've already reached an hour, but you know what? So shall it be. So shall it be. We needed to slow down, and that was done. I'm hearing also imperfection, being okay with not being perfect. When it smacks like that. All right, let's go. What else do our Piscean friends need? And also just hearing to, you know, remember through this process. And I'm seeing the word influence. Okay, first of all, be aware of the influences around you. Take everything you hear or absorb with a grain of salt, because that is, again, other people's stories, you know. That's their perspectives. We all have perspectives. And I'm just witnessing I'm speeding up again. Yeah, just being aware of how the external can infiltrate in your awareness as well. Bottom of the deck, we've got trust. So trust the process, trust that, and it's interesting how that card is quite, oh, it's very reminiscent of this one. It kind of gives me the same vibe. Like in the darkness, there is light. Like people, it's an interesting phenomenon, actually. And I don't quite know. Oh, okay, interesting here. Interesting. Hold on, I'll talk about that in a second. It's like a phenomenon about the shadow being this fucking evil thing, or this, like, no one wants to deal with it. No one even wants to say the word dark or shadow. And it's like, that is part of who we are. We literally have the divine feminine and the divine masculine here. So this could be about a divine masculine, divine feminine connection, as in a partnership. Or this could be about the divine masculine, divine feminine within you, like that merging of allowing, what is that? Like go and flow, unconscious, conscious, the dichotomy, the duality within us. And one of the most common places where we identify with duality is light and shadow, good and bad, light and dark. So there's a need to really bring that into harmony. I'm hearing bringing those aspects of yourself. It's okay to be vulnerable, for example, if you're operating from a more masculine, and this is irrespective of gender. I feel like I keep having to say this. This is irrespective of gender, right? This is about energies. So whether you're operating from a more masculine perspective, like you're just doing and not allowing and receiving, or the opposite, where you're just allowing and receiving but you're taking fuck all action. Like, there needs to be both in order to bring to oneness, right? One consciousness. And something about knowledge here, like, either you know this already and you're not integrating that, I'm hearing, because of these these tendencies that we have as humans to go into the space where we're not addressing difficult things because it's freaking hard. I said before, the shadow work is messy as shit, but it's part of our journey. It is part of the process. But to know that you are supported. Let's go with star codes. If this is resonating with you whatsoever, please let a girl know. I was going to sing that What's Going On again, and that came up in the Capricorn reading, so that's Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. So you might want to have a listen to that. So we've got Taurus, Cultivate, and Sagittarius, Expand. So yes, some of you might be thinking of, traveling or just taking some time out. So either traveling in a physical sense, or like just expanding your awareness. It could be expanding your knowledge, actual knowledge, maybe learning something new. We've got Review, Retrograde. Yeah, so being in a space of learning how to be with yourself for some. Let's get one more. We've got Mercury, Messages. Man, that card has been coming up a lot lately. So I feel like this is in conjunction with the knowledge. Either you're going to learn something about yourself in this process, which is a no-brainer, right? Like, we're always learning from dealing with shadow. You might be getting some insights when you can really sit with yourself and be in the space of solitude, of tuning in, of going within. Allowing for that expansion to happen organically. Okay, let's swap again. Pull from one more, and then I think we're going to leave it there because it's getting very... Actually, I'll pull from one more deck after this because we can. What else do our Pisceans need to see or hear, be with, reflect on? Ay. Too much. I've just seen the karmic completion card that came up in the Capricorn reading as well. Yep. Okay, let's get a couple more. If anything wants to come out of here. I've got healing. Came up in the Capricorn reading, I'm telling you. Yeah, there's definitely something about healing. Strong. Connections, possibly. We've got leadership. Spirituality. And personal growth. So, yeah, you know, being in that space of in your hermit mode, taking time out, being with yourself, can you see that? Slowing down, tuning in. You'll be able to lead if that's what you are, if that's your story. For some, like if this is a work situation where you're a boss or you're a in a position of authority of some sort, you can lead from that space of knowing because you've gone through it. Like you can speak from experience. You've gone through the shadow, you've dealt with your shadow, legit dealt through your shadow, and yeah, being able to speak to that because you've experienced it. I did say 6 was significant, right? 6 was significant. And we've also got 7s. So 7s are significant as well. I might write that down. 7s. And if it's not a work related or project related thing, just in your connections, like you can help others. Same, it came up in the Capricorn reading, or you can just help your connections and help your I'm hearing it like embracing your connections from a different perspective, from a more self-aware or more aware perspective. I'm going to pull from this deck because I can. What do we have to do? Oh my god! Why was that? Something about the minions here. I'm just not sure what that means. Okay. Bitch gotta stop shuffling at some point. I just love the clickety clack. It's like that, what is that? ASMR type of situation. Did we not say cracked open? We said that. So cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Let's have a read of that. Let's leave that there and have a read of that. Cracked open. Yeah, we said that. Look at that image. It's like peeling back the layers, you know? And it takes like diving deep into those parts of us that we don't necessarily want to deal with because it's fucking hard. Okay. Don't let the weight, so it says cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home into your body, at the center front of your life. It's through extreme pressure of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Literally, this was what, not literally, but this was the title of the Capricorn read, is alchemizing your pain into helping people. So whether that's yourself, your family, your community, whatever, right? Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds and in ways we can only dream possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen. So surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. And I'm seeing that it goes on. There's more stuff there, but we get the gist of it, right? Just at the end, it says surrender to the alchemy of life. I'm seeing that image of the Chinese vase. Oh, sorry, Japanese, I think. It's a vase, and it's the vase itself is cracked, but it's got gold. I forget what it's called. I'll put that in the description. It's got these gold pieces tying them together, and I love the message behind it. It's like, I'm going to probably say it wrong now, but it just brings to mind that, you know, just because there's all these pieces of us that are seemingly broken, we're not broken. We're just allowing, when we can go to the depths of the shadow and the ego and the mind, all the same thing, we can really, we allow the light in. What is the light? It's love, it's compassion, it's presence. So sometimes we need to crack through the shadows, crack through the mind, and, you know, let go of the ways in which we can self-sabotage ourselves to come back to wholeness. And remember who we are. Capricorn read. I'm telling you, there's something about that Capricorn read that's very, very connected to this one. So I don't know, maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn, or you have that in your placements, or there's a need to ground, because Capricorn is a earth energy, Pisces is a water energy, and, you know, when well, we had it, the moon, that was a water energy. So, you know, sometimes we can go through these periods where we're just drowning in our own thoughts, drowning in our own emotions for some, drowning in the unconscious, and not paying attention to the ways in which we are guided. So yeah, I hope that resonated with you. That was a very long one, but the space needed to be held for that. I truly feel that. And, you know, this is how we roll over here. So let me know if that resonated. And if it did, please feel free to subscribe and like, so you get more of these videos, or you see them when they come out, because sometimes they can be a bit random. But have a phenomenal day or night whenever you're watching this. And I'm sending you so much love, sending you so much healing, and know that you are not alone. And if you don't feel comfortable to comment below, if this is your situation, then please feel free to email me. The email will be down below as well. And just, yeah, it's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You've got this. All right, my loves, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.